Welcome back to Brain Bitesize. Today, we're delving into the enigmatic world of INTPs, introverted, intuitive, thinking, and perceptive individuals. INTPs, like Albert Einstein and Bill Gates, are known for their unique intelligence and analytical minds. But there are certain things you should never say to an INTP. So, let's dive in and uncover the 15 things you should avoid saying to these insightful thinkers. Number 1. Because I said so. This statement is a surefire way to ignite an INTP's intellectual curiosity and independent thinking. As natural-born questioners, they are driven by an insatiable need to understand the world around them. Their logical minds are always buzzing, seeking to unravel the whys and hows behind rules, decisions, or statements. When you say to an INTP, "because I said so," you're throwing a wrench into their mental machinery. It's akin to providing a mathematician with an equation but denying them the satisfaction of solving it. For an INTP, understanding the reasoning behind things isn't just a preference. It's a fundamental need. INTPs don't question authority or rule out rebellion or defiance. Instead, their questioning nature comes from intellectual curiosity and a desire for logical consistency. They need a solid foundation for every action they take, and if that foundation is built on shaky grounds of just because, it won't hold up in their minds. Take Abraham Lincoln, for example, who was believed to be an INTP. He didn't just accept societal norms, he challenged them. He stood by his values even when they opposed what was accepted then. His actions were not based on blind obedience but on a deep understanding of the principles he held dear. In the same way, INTPs won't hesitate to question the status quo. They don't simply follow because others are following. They need to understand why they should follow. Number 2. Are you enjoying the weather? This seemingly harmless conversation starter can make an INTP cringe. It's not that they have an aversion to weather or seasons, but rather, the superficial nature of small talk doesn't sit well with them. INTPs are deep thinkers who thrive on meaningful conversations. They have a natural curiosity and love for knowledge beyond casual chit-chat. Small talk, for INTPs, can feel inauthentic and unfulfilling. It's like being offered a snack when they're hungry for a full-course meal. They crave intellectual stimulation, thought-provoking discussions, and genuine connections. A conversation about the weather rarely provides any of these. It's important to understand that INTPs aren't being antisocial or rude by avoiding small talk. The surface-level discourse needs to align with their need for authenticity. They value genuine interactions where they can exchange ideas, share insights, and learn something new. Moreover, social interaction, especially small talk, can be draining for INTPs. They have a limited amount of social energy, and they prefer to spend it on meaningful interactions. Engaging in trivial discussions feels like a waste of this precious resource. Number 3. Tell me how you're feeling. This common phrase, meant to encourage open communication and emotional sharing, can be quite off-putting for INTPs. It's not that they don't experience emotions like everyone else, but rather, they uniquely process these feelings. INTPs are highly reflective and logical individuals. They prefer to analyze their feelings internally before expressing them outwardly. They rely heavily on their logical reasoning to make sense of their emotional states. Therefore, when faced with the question, "How are you feeling?" an INTP might feel unprepared or uncomfortable, mainly if they haven't fully processed their emotions yet. Moreover, INTPs trust logic over raw emotion. They believe in making decisions based on rational thinking rather than impulsive feelings. This doesn't mean they lack empathy or emotional depth. Instead, they prefer to approach situations objectively, which helps them maintain their intellectual integrity and independence. Number 4. That's just the way, it island. This statement is likely to spark a reaction in an INTP. As individuals who constantly question and analyze their surroundings, INTPs are not satisfied with accepting things at face value. They have an innate need to understand the logic behind why things are the way they are, and they're not afraid to challenge the status quo. Like Edward Snowden, who made headlines for exposing government surveillance, INTPs are known for their ability to scrutinize and question established systems. They only accept the world's conditions with thorough inquiry. For them, accepting something, just because, isn't an option. They need to understand the reasoning, the underlying principles, and the potential alternatives. Driven by extroverted intuition drives INTPs to seek new possibilities and patterns. They thrive on the thrill of uncovering hidden connections or developing innovative solutions. Their minds are always buzzing with ideas and theories, and their content once they've explored all potential angles. Number 5, but I read it online. This phrase can be a trigger for an INTP. As individuals who value logic and independent thinking, INTPs are not quick to accept information because it's widely accepted or found online. They naturally favor skepticism, especially regarding claims made without sufficient evidence. INTPs are natural researchers. They will only readily accept information if conducting a thorough analysis first. They enjoy digging deeper, questioning assumptions, and uncovering facts. They believe in the importance of empirical evidence and logical reasoning. For them, accepting a claim without scrutinizing it goes against their intellectual integrity. Moreover, INTPs strongly believe in forming their conclusions. They value their intellectual independence and prefer concluding rather than accepting others. They're fearless in spending time and effort researching, analyzing, and pondering over a topic until they feel confident about their understanding. Number 6, you're being antisocial. This statement needs to be more accurate when directed towards an INTP. As introverts, INTPs require solitude to recharge, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are antisocial. They can enjoy social interactions but also need a balance with alone time. This isn't about rejecting social engagement. It's about their unique response to rewards and stimulation. INTPs often find solace in activities that others might consider lame or solitary. This could be anything from reading a book, working on a personal project, or diving deep into a topic of interest. These activities allow them to engage their minds, which is stimulating and rewarding. It gives them the space to think, analyze, and reflect, which are essential aspects of their personality. It's crucial to understand that for INTPs, being alone does not equate to loneliness. Their need for solitude is more about self-reflection and self-rejuvenation. It's their way of processing information, exploring ideas, and understanding the world around them. Number 7, don't think about it so much. This phrase can be particularly frustrating for an INTP. Known for their meticulous and analytical thinking, INTPs dissect every decision precisely. They enjoy diving deep into the nuances of a situation and exploring all possible outcomes. Rushing them into making a choice or decision doesn't align with their natural thought process and can leave them frustrated and misunderstood. Their unique combination of introverted thinking and extroverted intuition makes them inclined to overthink. Whether asking someone out, picking an outfit, or deciding on a career path, they'll consider every possibility. This isn't a sign of indecisiveness but a testament to their desire for thorough understanding and optimal results. For an INTP, every decision, no matter how small, is an opportunity to engage their intellectual curiosity and analytical skills. They thrive on understanding the complexities of a situation and don't shy away from challenging decisions. They take their time, weighing the pros and cons, considering different angles, and contemplating potential outcomes. Number 8, you're overthinking it. To an INTP, this statement can feel dismissive and invalidating. As natural overthinkers, INTPs have a deep-seated need to explore all possible angles of a problem or situation. Their minds are constantly at work, analyzing, dissecting, and pondering every detail. Telling them they're overthinking is akin to telling a fish not to swim. It goes against their innate nature. INTPs thrive on analysis. Their ability to delve deeply into a situation, turning it over in their minds from every conceivable angle, is one of their greatest strengths. It's not just about problem solving for them, it's about understanding the world in its fullest context. They want to know more than the what, they want to understand the why, and the how. This tendency to overthink often leads them to innovative solutions that others might overlook. By considering every aspect of a problem, they can see connections and possibilities that escape a more cursory examination. Their thorough consideration of every detail enables them to comprehensively understand the situation, leading to unique insights and creative solutions. Number 9. Unique personality blend. This suggestion might not sit well with an INTP. Known for their unique personality blend of introverted thinking and intuitive nature, INTPs don't usually go with the flow unless they've thoroughly assessed the situation. They thrive on logic and analysis and prefer a well-thought-out plan over spontaneity. This is not to say they can't be spontaneous, but they typically prefer to understand what they're getting into clearly. INTPs are meticulous planners. They like considering all potential outcomes, analyzing possible scenarios, and preparing for contingencies. This helps them feel more in control and secure in their decisions. Their logical minds appreciate the clarity and structure that planning provides, allowing them to navigate situations with confidence and precision. Number 10. You're too serious. This statement can be a sore point for INTPs. They have a sense of humor and the ability to have fun. Still, their natural inclination towards analysis and intellectual depth may often paint them in a severe light. They're always in analytical mode, dissecting ideas, exploring theories, and seeking understanding. This constant mental activity can sometimes be mistaken for being overly serious. INTPs take their ideas and pursuits seriously because they value intellectual depth. They're not interested in surface-level understanding. They want to delve deep to understand a subject's intricacies and complexities thoroughly. This commitment to intellectual exploration is fundamental to their personality and drives their curiosity and creativity. Number 11. Why don't you just relax? This question might seem benign, but it can be quite frustrating to an INTP. It's not that INTPs don't want to relax, it's just that their minds are perpetually buzzing with ideas and questions. Their brains are wired for constant exploration and analysis, making it challenging to switch off and relax in the conventional sense. INTPs are characterized by their relentless curiosity and intellectual engagement. They're always pondering, constantly questioning, always seeking to understand. This mental activity is not a burden for them but a source of joy and fulfillment. It's how they engage with the world, make sense of their experiences, and express their creativity. Telling them to just relax could be interpreted as dismissing this vital part of their personality. It implies that their intellectual pursuits are unnecessary or excessive, which can feel invalidating. Instead of suggesting they relax, try to understand and appreciate their intellectual engagement. Encourage their interests and provide them with space to unwind on their terms. Number 12. You should be more social. This is a phrase that INTPs often hear, which they usually don't appreciate. INTPs value quality over quantity when it comes to social interactions. They are not antisocial or asocial but prefer deep, meaningful connections over superficial ones. They would rather have a few close relationships where they can engage in intellectual stimulation and deep conversations than a large circle of acquaintances with whom they share only casual interactions. Pushing an INTP to be more social can feel like an intrusion on their personal space and their need for meaningful relationships. It might be a disregard for their natural inclination towards introspection and depth. It's important to remember that being social looks different for everyone. For an INTP, it might mean having a long, thought-provoking conversation with a single person rather than mingling in a large group. Instead of urging them to be more social, appreciate how they form and maintain relationships. Understand that their preference for deep connections doesn't mean they're antisocial but seek a different social interaction. Respect their need for personal space and deep connections, and try to engage with them on a level that they find stimulating and satisfying. Number 13. You're too critical. This is a comment that INTPs may often encounter, and it can be quite misunderstood. Yes, INTPs have analytical minds that naturally spot flaws, inefficiencies, and areas for improvement. But this isn't because they're overly critical or negative. Instead, they're constantly seeking to optimize and improve things. Their analytical nature drives them to question, probe, and refine, all in pursuing perfection or innovation. The INTP's ability to spot imperfections isn't a negative trait. It's a valuable strength. They have an innate knack for identifying problems and developing innovative solutions. They see potential where others might only see failure, and they're not afraid to challenge the status quo if they believe there's room for improvement. Number 14. You're too quiet. It's a sentiment often directed towards INTPs, but it's one that fundamentally misunderstands their nature. As introverts, INTPs are naturally more reserved in social situations. They prefer taking the time to listen and observe before speaking up. This doesn't mean they lack interest or have nothing to contribute. On the contrary, they're often profoundly engaged, processing information and formulating thoughtful responses. INTPs value deep and meaningful conversations over small talk. When they're quiet, it's not because they're disinterested or detached. They carefully analyze the discussion, connect the dots, consider different perspectives and craft well-thought-out responses. Their silence is not a sign of apathy but active mental engagement. Appreciate their attentive presence instead of pushing an INTP to be more talkative. Their quiet demeanor often makes them excellent listeners who can provide insightful feedback and unique perspectives. Their thoughtful nature allows them to offer deep, nuanced responses that can significantly enrich the conversation. Number 15. Why don't you try something new? This is a suggestion that INTPs often hear, and while it's not inherently bad advice, it can be misguided. INTPs, with their preference for familiar routines and interests, are not the most adventurous or spontaneous types. However, they are still open to new experiences or ideas. It's just that they find comfort and satisfaction in their intellectual pursuits and hobbies, which often offer them a sense of stability and continuity. INTPs are deeply passionate individuals who enjoy delving into their chosen interests. They can spend hours, days, or even years mastering a subject or honing a skill. Their hobbies and interests aren't just pastimes. They're a crucial part of their identity and intellectual stimulation. They provide a stable platform to explore the world uniquely and analytically. And there you have it. 15 things to avoid saying to an INTP if you want to build a harmonious relationship with these incredible thinkers. Remember, every personality type has its quirks and strengths. Understanding them can lead to more meaningful connections. If you found this video helpful, remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into the intriguing world of personality types. Until next time, this is Brain Bitesize, signing off.